Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to practice meditation, we have to remember there are many kind of meditation methods and techniques according to what you look for. So, here we mainly focus to samatha and vipassana meditation, and also our main purpose is developing the wisdom and developing the art of seeing how things come to be as they are. So when it comes to that, there are certain ways that we have to practice, and also we have to know some informations. So mainly we develop two kind of mental cultures. One is called samatha mental culture, and another one called vipassana mental culture. So in samatha mental culture, what it does, it make your mind usable. Why? Because as an ordinary person, mostly our mind go here and there, and it is in disorder. What is the disorder means? It doesn't connect with the mind, body, and the moment. So in samatha meditation, it interconnected your mind, that's mean included the thoughts, and the body, and the time. So when these three things come together, your body, your mind, breathing, thoughts start to work as one. So the time is the present moment. So the thoughts and the body and the mind interconnected with the time, this all once start to work together, you recognize the very true nature of your mind. That is where you're going to get the real benefit out of the mind. Otherwise, it always becomes something else. Mostly, the mind depending on thoughts. If you allow, because when there is no choice, they go with whatever the thoughts available. So then you think the mind is like that. Actually, no. Mind has no form, mind has no method, or no, mind has no structure. So only thing is whatever available, mind go with it. So then what we have to do? We should not allow anything to be available, whatever related to past or the future. The best moment you should be available for the moment you exist in this very moment. So then I think anyone can agree with that. Rather than depending from past or the future, if you yourself forget about the religion or the culture or the tradition or the whatever you practice, to gain the best out of your own mind, if you be available in this moment within your whole body with clear awareness, in that very moment you get the best benefit out of your mind. So that is what does through the samatha meditation, tranquility meditation, or the chitta bhavana. So to do that, in the beginning, you need to have certain mental object. You have to give something to your mind to follow. Why? Because it already has a pattern developed to be in disorder. So then this primary mental object we call as a nimitta in Pali. So the nimitta is the kind of like the work or the responsibility, duty that you're giving to your mind. So what is the nimitta? It's observing the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation. So then you have to go a little bit deeper here. Observing the inhalation, exhalation is not here. So observing inhalation, exhalation is a kind of something that not related to your body. How the inhalation, exhalation can use to make it as a meditation. Whatever the sensation arise out of the inhalation, exhalation, you have to follow. That is where you can recognize the very nature of the inhalation, exhalation. The very nature of the body or the mind, if anything, is not bringing the sensation or the feelings. It has no power to ignite the consciousness or the awareness in the conventional life. So that's why you have to be very careful. When you mean by observing inhalation, exhalation, what you mean? Because our mind itself imagine or the follow kind of like imagination, and the mind always interfering to make things happen. So that's why you should know observing inhalation, exhalations mean not just whatever the air going in or out you see. Whatever the sensation arise out of that inhalation, exhalation, you have to be able to catch that sensation. So when you are able to recognize the sensation, that will help you to understand the very nature of the inhalation, exhalation, the behavior of the inhalation, exhalation. The thing is this, if you don't see the sensation, always it governed by your imagination. Just imagine anything. If it is not, if you don't get the sensation, how your mind going to get it? Through imagination or through whatever you know. So then it is not seeing, recognizing the meditation. Because then you go with your mind. So that's why that you should be very careful to see the sensation. Sometimes to get the sensation, in the beginning, you need to do some kind of work. So that's why this is called practice. So the very first thing you have to be patient, not to be too hurry, and learn to wait and be calm. And also the posture, the way you hold your body. And you cannot just keep the way you want. So then what you have to do, keep your back straight, neck, head straight in one line. And also if you don't feel the sensation, slowly little bit move your upper body back and forth and find the right place. And also the head. And some people, they up their head and some people down. So then you have to be very careful and see even 1 inch sometimes change a huge difference. So then slowly move your head little bit up and down and find the right place where you can feel the sensation. Once you get that, and that is where you have to hold the posture, then it becomes very easy. It's kind of like this, the 50% of your meditation is your posture. If you have the right posture, the rest is very easy. But if you are not hold the right posture, and then you may keep looking for sensation, then sometimes you get tired, disappointed, and then maybe you get something else. So like that. But once you start to see the sensation, it becomes easy. So then in the beginning, do little experiments to catch the sensation. Once you get it and follow it, in the beginning, separately recognize inhalation, exhalation separately. And then see the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. So the inhalation, exhalation always related to the present moment. See, now your mind, when you see inhalation, exhalations, mean it always in the present moment. And it is not the imagination. Why? Because you catch it through the sensation arise in front of your nose, so your upper lip area. So that's mean your mind stay with the body also. So see, your mind, body, and the time. These all three things come together. So that is the very nature of the tranquility state. When your mind in that very moment, that is the mind, the place that mind going to be completely safe and secure, and at the same time become more comfortable, happy. You have no idea that in that tranquility state, the happiness that you can gain, even you put all the sensual pleasures things in this world to one blender, and you blend all the pleasure go with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and you put that all the pleasure into one blender, and even all the imagination you put into one blend and blend everything, and you make a kind of like a super energy shot. Even that one moment of tranquility state of your contentment or the happiness not going to be equal to that entire worldly pleasure, because that much it is strong and it is not depending from anything. That's why it's more safe. So then that it is worth for you, because we all look for happiness and satisfaction. And that's why you have to remember, you have to appreciate yourself, your own sitting, your own practice, the moment you spend. You have to appreciate that. Why? Because you doing this for you. And that is the best that you can do to you. In that very moment of that tranquility state, your mind come to a point, and it's not going to go with whatever unprofitable. In common word, that we useless things. The mind doesn't go with that. It's not you thinking or throw away. No, naturally the mind start to get into to what is profitable. So that's where naturally you get into a kind of like a self-discipline. And from that point, now your mind mostly depending on the awareness. So it is not governed by the awareness, because it is kind of like the mother and child relationships. Your awareness is kind of like your mind is kind of like the mother. So the awareness is kind of like a child. So then once you come to that, it is not governed by, authorized by the whole, by controlled by you. It's not happen like that. It is more interconnected, deeply clear understanding each other. So when your awareness And when your mind able to work like that way, you become more rest, you peaceful, calm, relax. There is no struggle. In that very moment, we go to the other level of meditation. It's called vipassana meditation, or the inside meditation, or the panya bhavana, or analytical meditation. Why? Because our main purpose is seeing the truth and recognizing the truth and see how things come to be as they are. So once the mind in tranquility state, once the mind become usable, and now we slowly go to use that mind to see things very clearly. So in that point, there are four foundations in the Satipatthana, that there are four ways that you can develop, you can uplift your awareness. We practicing four ways of the meditation. So one is Kayanupassana, contemplating the body. Contemplating mean not think over, ponder over, not like that. You just see and recognize. You don't go behind thinking. You just recognize. And other thing is Vedananupassana, contemplating the sensation or the feelings. Another one is the Chittanupassana, contemplating the thoughts. Another one contemplating the Dhamma, or the nature itself with your body, aging and the getting sick and getting old, death, and that is one way. And the other thing is the elements, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, how it behave in our body. That is another way. And also we have the natural process in our body, digestive system, nerve system, blood circular system. So like that. So you recognizing that and seeing how this happen itself. So like that, there are different subcategories that you can go through. But today, mainly we're going to observe the sensation of the body, Vedananupassana. So when it comes to contemplating the body, so the contemplating the feelings, so it is mainly you have to recognize in the surface level on your skin. If you look, there are many kind of feelings arise, sensations arise. Some become pleasant, some become unpleasant, or some become neutral. So the surface level of the body, the huge area, so you can very easily notice and you can very easily that recognize. But at the same time, remember, just recognize without interfering to that or without thinking about it. Just see it and let it be itself. Don't disturb to it. Don't have a wish over that, oh, it should be like this or like that. Don't argue with that feelings. And don't develop a relationship to the feeling. So it's kind of like, oh, I like it, oh, this feeling so good. So like that way. Don't build up a relationship. Just let it be. And don't stay in one place for a long time. Make it very short and see, you recognize the feeling, and then there are some other more feelings, and then you go and see that, and go and see that, go and see that. So while you're seeing this, you, in the surface level, you see different feelings related to different places. It's like a character. So shoulder pain, and it's kind of like your knee pain, shoulder pain. It's a deeper, even though it is pain, it has a deeply different character. You see it. And another experience is sometimes your entire body in a certain level, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, different person to person. When you don't move your body, if you stay kind of like like a half an hour, then what is happening? There is a moment come, this whole body have kind of like one feeling. There that in the surface level, what you saw, the different or the character really, it doesn't go like that. The whole body have kind of like one feeling. So that also another experience. And then it's same like the universal existence. As people, we are separate character. But when it comes to humanity, entire humanity, it's kind of like we all have the same nature. So your physical, through the body, the sensation, or you recognize the same dharma. Maybe per place to place, you have different pain, sensation. But in deeper, this everything same. So that's giving a kind of like a wisdom to inside you. So then when you see something on a surface level, even though you see it kind of like a different, you go more deeper with your clear understanding and experience, you recognize there is no difference. That's why you become more calm, relaxed, not jump and react suddenly. Even that is the same thing with our day-to-day life experience. So that's how this meditation understanding and effect for your deeper character. And then other thing is with the sensation, there's a deeper connection to your mind. I like this, I don't like this. So feel it feelings, and it trigger emotions sometimes. So you can see that also, that connection. And then just when you see it, that connection not going to become powerful because you know how it is happening. So like that in deeper, that when you go to the mind section, how the feelings affect to your mind, and even with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, there are feelings arise. And that also kind of like a feeling, it's you have to have very sharp mind to track that feelings. And also, and deeply, it has power to trigger or the ignite all the defilement mental formations related to your past. Even it has power, the certain feelings has power to memorize and bring all the past memories, even the previous birth also. That kind of like a interconnected relationships going. But important thing is just see without anything, without reacting, without wondering, with the very clear mind, and see it. So in case if it is become difficult or if you get disturbed, and then go back to inhalation, exhalation, stay there, and then come back again and observe the bodily sensation. So like that, and you can exercise a little bit and time to time, and you can adjust yourself. So when it comes to vipassana, you have to remember, you have to keep the complete 100% freedom. Don't afraid for that, because mostly the negative part is in our life, that we are addicted to depend even with the ideas, even with the teachings. We have kind of like a believing that we need somebody, we need guidance, we need help. So that's how we build up our mind. But when it comes to vipassana, so once you come to tranquility state, you already 90% you come out of that kind of mindset. But when it comes to vipassana, remember, don't afraid to take the fully responsibility, fully authority, and the maximize to the 100% of activation in your awareness with your clarity. Little by little, try it. Maybe 1 minute, that's enough. Because that 1 minute giving experience, next day you go to 2 minutes. So like that, moment by moment, even 1 second you experience that, that's enough. It's worth for you. So that's how completely keep the clarity, independency, and the maximum level of the effort. So yourself. And that's how you can experience the vipassana. So with that, we're going to practice a little bit. So get ready, and your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. And bring your attention to your body and observe head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also, think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the inhalation, exhalation, and then later observe the sensation, the bodily sensation. So bring your attention in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathing, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And find the sensation and follow that. And through the sensation, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Do nothing extra. If your mind go here and there, just recognize and keep focus your mind to the sensation. Don't worry about anything. Bring a little bit more attention and see its entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. And recognize this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is end of the inhalation or exhalation. Always remember you have to see the inhalation, exhalation through the sensation, not by imagination. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize it and accept. Bring the awareness to your body and observe the sensation or the feelings arise in your body. So whatever the sensation you recognize, just see how it changes itself. Bring your attention to your inhalation, exhalation. Just observe your inhalation, exhalation. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. And as far as we can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Visualize yourself and send it as a light forward and expand the capacity little by little. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to our life, one of the main purpose of the Buddha's teachings to giving the very success in this very lifetime as a human being, and also after you die, after your death, the success that you should gain in this existence, and that's mean to become a better, having a better life after you die. So the conventionally these both are, it's kind of like you gain result out of the practice. And at the same time, if you decide to take that decision, you have to have some wisdom. That's mean to see things very clearly in life. This is enough for me. Because sometimes people don't see like that way. Even in conventional life, even though we see that other people go through situations, sometimes we don't take it as a lesson for us. We think, oh, it happened to them, it's not going to happen to me. So like that. So that's why when it comes to the idea of nibbana, just seeing somebody, it's not going to happen to you. But when you go through your own experience, and it's mainly, it's kind of like there are two ways: the illusion of the joy and hell of the suffering. If you able to go through these two end of that tunnel, you yourself going to declare that you want to attain to the nibbana. But sometimes just seeing this conventional life and the seeing this, that how other people go through, it's not going to fit for us. So, but yourself, there is a way you can understand it even without going through the experience. So that is the important part in Buddha's teaching. There is a way that you can develop your awareness and understand without go through your own experience. But if you don't develop that understanding or the awareness, you have to go through this. So once you go through that, and then yourself you're going to accept that anymore, I don't want this. So like that. But somehow when it comes to this conventional life, one of the important thing that we have to understand, there is nothing belong to us or the self or I or me. It's a statement. It's nothing belong to anybody that believes or me or self or I. But conventionally, mostly, we like to have that idea. So why that idea is wrong mainly? Because that the self, that itself, when it come to this, the idea of I or me or self, knowingly or unknowingly what is happening, it creates a kind of like a disorder, confusion inside us, unbalance inside us. Why? Because the very nature of the mind like to have that and facilities with it, and once it come to that point, the whatever you see, whatever you hear, the whatever the experience that you go through is completely different. The reason is this: because in the world, when it comes to this human world or anywhere in this entire universe, whatever you name as existence, it has an order, it has a pattern. That pattern is not belong to something or somebody. That is what called the cause and effect, dependent origination. So in that pattern, if you don't recognize when it comes to the human world, if you don't see the pattern, if you don't see the order, you make mistakes. Look at this physical and material world. To get the benefit out of this whatever we have, it should have the order. It need to come to the necessary conditions to function it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So same like when it come to the human world, that if you able to maintain your human body and the mind, and according to the order, necessary order, you can attain to enlightenment. Because it go according to the necessary conditions, that it's already effect with the cause and effect. It's not somebody doing it. So if you don't understand it, or you whatever you clinging as ideas, and if you create a kind of like a disorder, then it's going to be in the samsara. So if you find the right order in your mind and body, and that will help you step by step develop it, and then reach to the enlightenment. So then it is your choice what you want. From this point, look yourself, look at around you, and you keep believing, you keep chasing things, that you accumulating, holding things, and going with this conventional ideas, ideology, and I want this, I want this, I want this, I can do this, so I know how to do this. So like that way, we have done a lot of things, but still that everything took us to a place to understand what the life not going to happen the way we think. So then in this very point, if you look very carefully, so you had the idea to do things, and you had a wish to make things happen the way you want, but it didn't happen. Why? Question yourself. Rather than just believing something or putting something, just question yourself. Because without questioning yourself, you cannot attain to enlightenment or even to get into the path. So question yourself. When something go wrong, learn to question yourself. So when something not happening, when you are sad, worry, unhappy, question yourself why it happened to you like that way. Because in the beginning you believed something, it's not going to happen to you. So if you clearly question yourself, the whatever the situation then you go through, it will tell you, show you the way you think doesn't work. That is not a big dharma. That is not a kind of like something that you have to learn through a monk or guru or book or nothing. It's not like that. It's a very simple fact that everybody go through in life. But that simple lesson we forget. And then go back after a few days, go back to me, my, I, so like that. So we come with the I. And the I start to have a relationship with the me. And then it give the birth to my. So once you start to give birth to my, so you can claim anything as my. So my experience, my ideas, my view, my body, then my house, my family, my husband, my wife, my children, and my car, and my land, and even my temple, even my Buddha statue, even my Tripitaka. So even that my Nibbana, my God. So even that you come to, then you become more validating the socially, my village, my culture, my country, my nation, my world, my universe. See how big this mind? It's all come with the relationship with the me and the I. There is go. It's like a huge web. When you release from one place, it go and catch something else. But it never going to take you to the fully complete satisfaction. It always take you to the disorder. Why? Because in reality, there is no something, anything related to you. So even forget about others, that your own body. Just see that you feeding it, you maintaining it, you take care of it very well, but still, when the time comes, it change. Every 8 to 10 years, your entire body, even the bones, completely become renewed. All the organs completely become renewed. That's how it is. So if you come to a very nature of the atom, electron, neutron, and proton, it always moving and changing the structure, but it go in pattern, order. It go by order, but it always changes. Same like the time. It look at even the one atom, electron, neutron, proton, and circularize it in itself in a certain pattern. The same thing happening in the universe also. When it comes to a day, how you calculate the day according to the sun and the moons and the earth, the circulation and the entire universe, go in the same kind of pattern. That is why when we come to the self or the self-centered idea or I, we forget we are in a pattern, and we in that moment we going to go to a wrong understanding or the self, or this is me. In that moment that we go out of the pattern. That means we go out of out of the structure, out of the balance. In that unbalanced situation, whatever the structure we build, whatever the order we develop, it's not the order. So the order means if you completely allow everything to settle down as it is without grasping in your mind, holding in your mind, in that very moment, naturally there is a way that order going to happen. So that is what you have to get, rather than make things happen. But we have to develop the habit or the desire, the deeper current inside us to make things happen. So there is a point that you come to that. But the important thing is, in the very first moment, if you see something out of the pattern, then after that, whatever you do, how it going to be right. So that's why that's why we go through the struggle in life. Because the very first step you take, if it is wrong, maybe after that, whatever you take, things not going to be right. So that's why the foundation should be good. When you lay down the foundation is properly, with the right view, right understanding, in that foundation, whatever you build, it's going to be okay. So the meditation is a kind of way. So this disorder, you bring it to an order. To bring to the order, you have to follow certain kind of a protocol. Why? Now, because it's already mess. So that's why you have to have the mental object. So when it comes to the disorder, physical disorder and the mental disorder, the confusion, unrest. So in the beginning, what you have to do, and develop a physical order. The physical order means keep it, be physically, kind of like develop a pattern yourself. And how you can do it? When you sit properly. When you go to sleep properly, lie down properly. And then when you do some work, and do it properly. So that way, you physically build up an order, pattern. That pattern brings the balance. That balance bring the clarity. The clarity take you out of the fear. When you are get out of the fear, the confidence going to be there. That confidence will take you to the awareness. The awareness bring the wisdom. So that's how it's go. Step by step, step by step. So that is a physical way. So you start when you sit, don't throw your legs and hands everywhere on the chair or the couch or the bed. No, just develop order. Why? Because we came with the disorder. So that's why we have to understand. So as you know, this entire, even in this body, there is a pattern. There's the things work in a certain way. It is not the way that we want or not. So that's why when it comes to the day, it's 24 hours. It's not going to be 23 or it's not going to be 25. There is a pattern. We have to deeply understand that. When it comes to human body, 2 hands, 2 legs, and 1 head. And on the gods, on the imagination, you have 100 hands and many head, but it's not going to be real. So we have to accept that. And when you deeply observe, you are in order. That's why you cannot be disorder. You cannot decode it just by thinking. There is a way. I'll come to that, how you can decode, how you can deconstruct this form. But in the beginning, to deconstruct yourself, first you have to understand what is the construction method. So otherwise you make mistakes and then it make a mess. So in the beginning, develop a self-discipline and with your physical. And don't even touch your own body unnecessarily. Even don't touch anything unnecessarily. It's become a deeper discipline. Discipline means it's develop order inside you. It brings the clarity inside you. So even don't talk unnecessarily. And only monks allowed to talk like that, because when we start to talk, sometimes it cannot stop. So in day-to-day life, unnecessarily, don't make phone calls also. So it develop order inside you, because it is a great investment for your enlightenment. That's why think like that way. And in day-to-day life, that whatever the little things that you keep doing, and look yourself, do you need to do it? Is it necessary, profitable? If not, don't do it. And even what you eat, just look yourself. Maybe it is available. That doesn't mean you have to eat it. How far you have to, even it is on your plate, how much you have to eat? Not whatever in your plate. Just eat till the hunger go away. Once the hunger go away, throw it. Throw it or give it to animal or give it to something. But don't take it. When we look at the human history, there was a time like when the world war going on. There was a time the lack of food. And people don't throw the food. That is not good to do. But at the same time, remember that having food doesn't mean you have to eat that all. That is a wrong idea. Even in the plate, sometimes there are monks. They have an idea. They think you have to eat whatever, everything in your plate. So once you full yourself, if you know little science regarding this body, once you full, it doesn't matter even that little bit of rice or bread, one piece of bread or anything. Once you full, so whatever you put into your body is become dust. Another thing is, it make you unhealthy. It brings you kind of like a side effects. So then your body become kind of like a trash can. Don't make it happen. So come to an order. Once you feel comfortable, feel full, thinking about, oh, this food is so important, so on, then you save it and put in a refrigerator and eat in another time, or keep it somewhere safely, or otherwise you have to throw it. Why? Because if you eat, you're going to get sick. Maybe you respect to the food, but then what will happen? If it is not necessary for your body, once you put it your body, it become your body. Remember that. If you put unnecessarily, what will happen? Then you're going to develop a disorder. So what is the order should be when you eat? Once you full, stop it. No matter what, even whatever, it cooked by gold or anything, So covered with the gold, don't eat. It's not going to work for your body. So that is the order you develop. It doesn't matter whoever come to this, even the angels come and offer divine food to you. Oh, eat this. No, you say, no, I am full. That's enough. No. So like that you develop, then it becomes the order. That is the order for your body. And when you do something, do it properly. Don't be hurried. That is the order that you develop in the conventional life, in this existence. And even that you play, you say that the singers, they do it with the happy mind. So because that is the order should be. Why? Because with unhappy mind, if you sing, that voice has power to create unhappiness. With the unhappy mind, if you dance, the whoever look that dance and has power to create the unhappiness. That's why, as you seen in Asian countries, all the traditional dancing, whatever the dancers before they start, what they does, facial expression, the smiling, never you can see never that these traditional dancers dance with the long grumpy hair, the pace, unhappy pace. No, they come to that, the very first thing, they smile. So that is the order. So you follow that order. So this is me, this I do whatever I want, you don't disorder it. So like that physically, whatever you do, and when you cook with the happy mind. Otherwise your food going to become poison. So that is the order that you have to do, because this physical world has order, pattern. This everything, look, this everything has a pattern. Yoga is the deeper art that you learn this pattern with your physical structure. That's why it has the postures. So look at this, everything exists around us. Us, that everything has a pattern. Once that it go out of the pattern, we throw it away. So same thing when it comes to the human body, the character, when you behave in a certain way, if you develop the pattern and you become a valid person. If you go out of the pattern, you become invalid person. And then what will happen? Other the society have the law to punish you. Or if you do this, you punish, and then you go to jail. See? We have to understand, then we cannot do the way we want, even though we think this is me. It is not me. That's why. That is the truth. So first you have to understand, deeper we are in a order. So first accept it. Once you learn that we are in order, you become more alert. So we call it awareness. And you get out of the disorder and you develop the balance. So conventionally, that it make you more comfortable person. And that's why each and every religion have the kind of like a discipline code. So why? To make it, to keep in order. So samatha meditation is the order that develop in your mind. Why? Because the mind is, your busy mind is unhappy, sad, worry, fearful mind, mean it is in disorder. Why mainly mind go to disorder? Because of the ideas. The ideas is not going to be fact. The fact is only in this very moment, that what you experience with your perceptions. So that is the important part rather than ideas. Maybe it was good in the past, in that very moment. But for this moment, it's not going to work. But if you depend on that idea and you lose the fact in this very moment, you are in disorder. So what is the order that you develop in your mind? And it doesn't matter whatever the ideas you had, the heard, the by the culture, tradition, or the religion put on you, and whatever in your backpack, it doesn't matter. In this very moment, it is your perception with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. In this very moment, what you experience, if you able to recognize that, that is going to become a pattern. That is an order that you develop, the natural order that you slowly get connecting to yourself. So otherwise, if you go with the ideas, and then you are in disorder. In that disorder, whatever you do, because disorder means unbalance, confusion, the fear, unsatisfaction, worry, sad, disappointment. And then in that kind of mind, whatever you do, you're going to get the same kind of result. So then first come to the order. How? Let go whatever. Just be clear with whatever the perception. And once you come to that point, you develop the order. You go with the order. And once you are able to go with the order in a certain level, you understand how this happening, how the order happening. This is a dependent origination. Depending, interdependent. You start to see it because it is there. It is here. But we are people. We don't understand when we eat something, how it's going to digest and flush. There are people eat things, they don't believe, they don't have idea while they eating it has to go through their body. They don't understand it, they don't get it. And there are people, they drink and they don't understand how their body going to handle it, because it's going to be in their body. They don't get it. There are people take drugs and they have no idea. And recently I was reading an article that regarding some drugs that in our countries, they used to make it in a Second World War in Japan. These drugs called ice. And for Japanese soldiers, they gave it, and then their entire mindset go all blow out and burn all the nerve system, and they go crazy. They don't see anything. They go and kill everybody, jump to the ships and blow out themselves. So how about with the family, you with your husband or wife, children, and everybody in your family? If you take that kind of things, people take it. You become kind of like the suicide bomber in the middle of the war. So that people don't understand. That's why this attaining to enlightenment doesn't mean that you kind of become a completely different. You recognizing this cause and effect within your own life. Then you understand whatever your bodily action, that the reaction and the result, you recognize in this interconnection. That brings you the clarity to yourself. It makes you a very safe place for you and for other people. Then no one get disturbed out of your behavior. So like that, developing that order is the main part when it comes to tranquility. And then you recognize, you see this all the patterns, that how it is happening. You no need to read any chemistry book to understand it. By seeing itself, you recognize it. This is good, or this is profitable, or this is not good to do. When you're able to see how things come to be as they are, without adding your ideology, without depending from any kind of ideas, with clear perception, in that very moment, you have power to decode it, deconstruct it. That is what called vipassana. It will never going to happen anymore. But it has an order. You have to go. You cannot just thinking in the beginning without seeing the way it happened. You cannot deconstruct it. So that's why in the first thing, recognize we are in the disorder. So then get into the order. And once you develop the order from there and start to see clearly how this happening, and once you see that how it is happening, the next thing that you can get out of this. So that is the order from the disorder to you develop the order and get out of this all. So otherwise we all keep tangling, go back to the same thing. Action, reaction, result, action, reaction, result, cause and effect, and then it brings the same kind of circle. The disorder leads us to disorder, unbalance. So that's why it is, you cannot do it by force. You have to be more humble. You have to accept we are in disorder. You have to look very carefully and slowly, sharply you have to do it. You can do it. Your mind is the best tool. Remember, every day when you wake up, just imagine the best gift that you have is your mind. It is so powerful, and it is so profitable for everybody in the world that you don't see that. And it is so beautiful than anything in this world. The only thing we don't experience it. And sometimes when we have that, we don't care. That's why. So then yourself look into that, experience it. And that is where you understanding how beautiful this life is. And that is where you recognizing how beautiful this path is. And that is where you recognizing how beautiful the Buddha, because he's the one who to show us this path. So it is your responsibility to walk. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahangotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.